13.2, we're going to be taking a look at something called consumer credit. So our consumer credit involves types of credit that we owe money, things we owe money for. It's a very broad category. We'll get to some details, but first, our leading idea. So consumer credit involves borrowing and managing resources wisely, understanding the responsibilities and consequences of debt over time. In a similar way, faith in God encourages stewardship, not only of material resources, but of our time, talents, and relationships. Just as responsible use of resources requires trust, discipline, and foresight, faith in God calls us to live thoughtfully and with integrity, trusting that wise choices lead to freedom and well-being. So let's look at what we mean exactly by consumer credit. So grab a picture for this one. Consumer credit refers to the borrowing of money to finance the purchase of stuff. Stuff like cars, furniture, appliances, jewelry, electronics, etc. Technically, real estate mortgages, right, like home loans, are actually also consumer credit, but we're going to deal with them in a different section because they're a little bit more complicated. They typically involve larger amounts and over larger periods of time. Okay? Our first type of consumer credit we're going to look at in this section is called an installment loan. It is a closed-end line of credit. The way that it works is that you borrow a set money up front, and then you pay it off in installments that are typically equal amounts over a time, and then when you're done, you close out the loan and the loan is over. The types of loans that typically work this way are everything but credit cards. If you buy a car, it's an installment loan. Your student loans are installment loans. If you buy a ring for your fiance, that's an installment loan. If you get a refrigerator because your refrigerator dies, that's our next example, that's an installment loan as well. Okay? So, our first example is Ann and Andy. Ann and Andy's refrigerator dies unexpectedly. They're in the midst of paying off debt, so they don't have the cash to buy a new refrigerator. Against their better judgment, they decide to finance a new refrigerator. The store offers 6-month interest-free financing as long as Ann and Andy pay the refrigerator off in those 6 months. Okay, have you heard of an offer like that before? There's lots of them. Most companies offer things like this. Okay, it's a very common one. The store requires a $200 down payment, so that's how much they pay right now, on the purchase of a $2,000 refrigerator. And we're ignoring or considering that the tax is already included because that's not the point of our discussion, okay? We're not talking about the tax situation. Everybody good so far? Okay, so let's take a look at how this works out for Ann and Andy. So part A wants us to find the amount that they're going to finance. So how much did the refrigerator cost? $2,000. And how much are they going to pay right at the front? $200. That's their initial down payment, which means the rest would be the amount financed for a total of $1,800. Everybody good so far? Excellent. Next question says, if they actually pay this loan off in the 6 months and avoid the interest, how much would they have to pay per month? Well, $300. Yeah, they owe $1,800. They make 6 monthly payments. They would pay $300 per month. Okay, everybody good so far? Unfortunately, life happens, and most people, if they take out loans like this, do not make that happen. And that's what happens to Ann and Andy. If they don't pay the fridge off in 6 months, the store will backdate the interest, 12% add-on interest, backdated, and then Ann and Andy will be put on a payment plan to pay off the refrigerator over the next 2 years. So let me pause real quick and just ask, because I don't have as many of you in this class that I know, how many of you are education majors? I have a couple of you. So an education major is often presented with a grant opportunity called the TEACH grant. Nod your head if you know what I'm talking about. A little bit familiar? The TEACH grant does this. If you do not meet all of the conditions and the requirements of the TEACH grant, it will backdate the amount that you owe to the beginning of when you took out that loan. And $16,000 will very curiously become $28,000 overnight that you owe back. If you've taken out a TEACH grant, it's okay. Just be really careful that you know how it works and you get that thing, all those qualifications made so that it really is a grant, which is free money, and not a loan, which is money you pay back. So you can see how this works in this problem. First question then asks, how much interest will be added on after the 6 months if Ann and Andy fail to make any payment toward the loan? Now, obviously, they could make some payment. We're just using the worst case scenario here. Does everybody see that? Worst case scenario, life happened. They have no money that they've paid toward the thing. They still owe $1,800 at the end of the 6 months. With me? All good. Okay. So when we have our Ann and Andy situation, we're going back to our interest formula that we saw back in section 1. The principal, right, the amount they borrowed is still the $1,800. What is the rate in this scenario?
0.12.
Yeah, it's 12%, which is 0.12. What is the time?
2 years.
Not yet.
6 months.
6 months. This one wants to know the amount that's added on for the past 6 months. That's our first point. We're going to get to the 2 years in a second. But backwards dating, 6 months, 0.5 is our time. Does that make sense, Rick? Everybody okay? Because it's 6 months, and 6 months would be half of a year. Yeah. So our time is 6 months, and in years, that's half a year. Okay? All right. If we multiply these together, it's not huge. What number do they have that they're going to add on interest of? 108. Now, again, if they paid it off in full today, they would be paying the $1,800, the 108, they'd be done, okay? But that's not the scenario that's set up, true? It says that then they're going to be put on a payment plan to pay it off for the next 2 years, okay? So, what is the new total amount to be repaid? Well, our new principal,
Wait, what? I didn't get the rest of the stuff on the last slide. Oh, it's 100.
108, got it now?
Yes,
It's okay. So our new principal was the 1,800 that they originally borrowed, and the 108 that they also now owe for 1908. And again, if they paid that all off today, fine. But that's not the way that they signed, like they signed on the dotted line, that's not what they said was going to happen. If they didn't pay it off, what's going to happen is that they automatically are going to get moving forward, they're going to have to pay more. Even if they pay it off, they're still going to have to pay more because that's what they signed. Okay, so here's the way it works. We've got a new amount. Our amount that we're working with now, right, our formula is A equals P times RT, 1 plus RT. The new principal, that's the 1908. I have 1 plus. My interest rate's 12%, so 0.12. And our time is now the time moving forward. That's my 2 years now. Now, if I were entering this in the calculator, I would not do all these parentheses here. Let me show you what I would do just so you can see it. I would put in the 0.12, I'd put in my multiplication x, and I put a 2 here. I try to avoid as many parentheses as I can because every time I open one, I have to close one, and if I don't, I end up getting weird numbers showing up that are wrong. So I kind of try to avoid them when I can. How much money are they going to actually now owe because they didn't pay it off?
Well,
A
a lot.
lot is a good answer. It's not a very specific answer.
She goes, oh, a lot.
That's right, Rhea. $2,365.92.
These people are evil.
Okay. So then, how would we figure out their monthly payment?
Divide it by 24.
Divide it by 24. So where did the 24 come from?
How many months?
Yeah, it's how many months are in 2 years. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, it's $98.58. Okay, so they're going to pay almost $100 a month for the refrigerator. Okay, pretty good so far. We have one more question about Ann and Andy before we shift gears. I'm not switching just yet, Kaylee.
Hurry, Ash. Hurry, Ash.
Okay, so what we want to know, and our next question, if you've looked at it already, is we want to know how much they are actually going to pay for the refrigerator. Okay, how much are they gonna actually pay for the refrigerator?
Whole bunch of money.
Well, we just found out on this screen that they're gonna have to pay the $2365.92, right?
Right.
That's part of it. So they're gonna pay the $2365.92. What else are they gonna pay? The $200 they originally paid, which looks suspiciously like $2,565. Whoops,
This is insane.
92. Okay, how much was the refrigerator actually worth or cost if they had actually bought it outright? $2,000. The refrigerator is really a $2,000 refrigerator, and they paid $2,565.92. That's 28% more than the refrigerator actually
Those are
cost.
suing us.
Okay, that's what debt is. That's what debt is. It's a luxury that you're paying for the ability to borrow something that you cannot yet afford. Okay, ready to take another picture or two? Got 2 pictures. Take a picture and I'll talk, and then we'll take a picture and I'll talk. Our other type of loan is called a revolving loan. Think credit card. Okay, so we had our installment loan, think car loan. We have our revolving loan, think credit card. In this kind of a loan, there's no fixed number of payments. It continues to be paid until no further amount is owed. And if the credit card company has their way, you never close it and you keep using it. So it's never paid off. Okay? Itemized billing is the statement that comes in the mail, whether it's snail mail or email, that lists your purchases, cash advances, the amount that you owe, the minimum payment required, etc. It's the bill statement. Okay, next picture.
Oh, for what?
Yep, that's why I'm having you take pictures, so you're not going to write it down now. You're going to write it down later, though, so it's showing up on your homework or on your papers to take your test, right? Oh, yeah, for sure. Please do.
Gotta put these out.
Just print out the picture.
Finance charges. The finance charges include interest. That's one type of finance charge. Credit cards sometimes have annual fees. Sometimes they require that you carry insurance, so if you don't pay it off, they still get their money. Credit insurance. It also talks about a time payment differential and carrying charges. We'll take a look at those 2 pieces at the end in our description, our problem. And then average daily balance is the way they calculate how much you owe. It's a weighted mean of the various amounts of credit utilized for different parts of the billing period. The weighting factor is the number of days that each credit amount applies. I know that sounds a lot wordy, but you'll see what it looks like when we actually do the problem, okay? All right, you ready to look at one?
No.
Well, we're going to do it anyway. I'm sorry, Kaylee. All right. For the following credit card account, we're going to assume 1 month between billing dates with appropriate numbers of days. So what that means in terms of the appropriate numbers of days is that if it's May, it's 31 days. If it's March, it's 31 days. But if it's February, it's 28. Right? Y'all with me? The number of days matters. So you have to think about the month you're in. It tells us that we have an interest rate of 1.3% per month. Now, that's a monthly interest rate. It doesn't sound like very much, but it actually should be multiplied by 12 if you're talking about it the way that we've been talking about all of our rates before. So if you take 1.3 times 12, that's the actual APR on the credit card. Okay? I remember what this one is. Let me just see real quick. 15.6%. Okay? That sounds more like a credit card amount. We're going to find several things. A, the average daily balance. B, the monthly finance charge. C, the amount balance at the end, balance for the next billing cycle. Okay, so you've got some amounts written here. Yours look like it's more linear, like left to right. It looks more like this. Okay, so I want you to draw in some lines and drop in some vertical bars, okay? The previous amount on the card is $728.36. The bill is dated on 5/9. We're going to make a payment of $200 on 5/17.
Do we write all that down too?
It's already on your paper.
Oh.
If you just draw a vertical line, it's just not on mine because I don't have enough space on my screen if I type it in. We have dinner out on May 30th. We spend $46.11. Then we go to the theater on 6/3 and we spend $64.50.
Who's spending $64 on theater
What kind of
tickets?
popcorn are you getting?
What theater are you going to? Broadway show?
I'm not going.
Civic Center.
Dang.
Hey, that-
Theater tickets, like not movie tickets, but theater tickets are very expensive. That would be an inexpensive one right there. We went to the Grand Ole Opry when we went to Tennessee, and we had buy one, get one free, so we didn't pay this, but this is what they would have been pretty close to this.
Dang.
Okay, these are the titles you're gonna write in. I want you to write in, I need it smaller a little bit. So this is gonna say running balance, hang on. So this is the running balance column. This is what it'll look like in my math lab too. They'll have you fill these in like straight across the screen, okay? Your running balance, we'll have one that says number of days. Till the balance changes. And the last one is balance times days. Those are the subject headers, column headers. Okay, everybody good so far? All right, we're going to fill in the running balance column straight down. That's what we're going to do first. Okay, so you get the bill in the mail. It's $728.36. So this is our first amount here, $728.36. And the first thing we do of the list of things is we pay them $200. What will my new balance be if I pay them $200? Right. $528.36. I owe less, right? Because I made a payment. Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, Kaylee, what happens is you get a bill in the mail and you send them some money. Now you owe them less. So we subtracted, that's all. But then we go out to dinner.
Oh, you subtracted 200.
Then we got-
Yep. We go out to dinner. So what's going to happen with my 4611?
574.
Yeah, we're gonna add it, right?
We're adding it.
Why are we going to add 4611 to the number?
That's how much you owe now.
Because now we owe them that money too. Right? We still owe them 520. I don't owe them anything, but whoever's payment this is, they owe them. They owe them 528.36, and then they swiped their card at the Red Lobster or the Chili's or the whatever. They swiped their card, and now they owe 4611 more than they did before, for a total of 574.47. Okay.
I don't understand how we went from subtracting to adding.
Because subtracting is when we paid them money. Adding is when we owe them more money.
The money?
A payment is paying money, yes.
How much you have left. Right.
Yeah, I think my pen just died. No, it didn't. Now it's working again. Okay, good. 36. Are we good? Oh, no, it's not 36. Sorry. 47? 47. Fantastic. Okay, then we go to the theater. Contrary to the fact that you guys didn't want to pay $64.50, these folks did. So what are we going to do with the $64.50? Add or subtract? Add, because we owe them more money now, right? The card company. So $638.97. All good so far. Great. Next column says, at the top, number of days till the balance changes. Okay. So here's how this works. The bill is dated on 5/9, but we don't make a payment until 5/17, right? How many days does it take while our bill stays at 728.36? It's 8 days. It is 8 days between the bill date and the date payment's made.
Does that matter?
It matters.
Oh, cool.
It does.
Wait, what?
Didn't know that.
So the time from here to here, Lane, is 8 days.
Oh.
So from 5/9 to 5/17, it's 8 days.
Does that mean they're late on their payment?
No, they might still be on time on their payment, but the interest keeps accruing even if you've got that time. 5/17 to 5/30, how much time is that?
I don't know, so I knew the math.
13 is right, 13 days. How much time from 5:30 to 6/3?
Like 11, 12, 13 for. No?
4 days. Okay, now it's not written in here, but there's going to be another thing that happens after the 6/3.
Taxes. Other than that.
No taxes. It's the next billing date. Claire's right. Eventually, we're going to get another bill in the mail, right? Every month, like clockwork, unless they spend more money. But we're assuming this is it. Like that's the description we're given. So the next date's going to happen on the same day of the month. So it's going to happen on 6/9.
So 6 more days.
So from 6/3 to 6/9 would be 6 more days. Okay, everybody good so far? Yeah? Okay, what does the column header say that we do on the next list?
Valentine's Day.
Balance times days. So we're literally multiplying the previous two columns. Y'all with me? We're going to multiply 728.36 times 8, 528.36 times 13, and so forth. Okay. They are. They're large numbers. Do you want me to multiply them for you?
Yes.
Okay, the first one is 5,826.88.
I thought I was wrong, and that is right.
The next one is 6,868.68. The next one is 2,297.88. 8's our favorite number, apparently. And then we have 3,833.82. These are our four numbers. And our last thing to do is to add them up. Aren't you glad you have a calculator?
I'm glad I have a doctor.
18,827.26.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Oh, you added it for us.
I added it for you.
18,000.
Okay, I do want to make sure. I know I did all the numbers, but do you understand where I got all the numbers? Like, what did I do to get them? Because you're going to have to do it yourself. There's not going to be a Dr. Hands when you're there when you do your homework, right? Okay. Okay. The important thing is that you know where the numbers came from. Do we know where the numbers all came from? Okay, cool. All right, average daily balance. Here's the way this works. You take that sum that you just got
Where are those at on that?
and you divide it by the number of days. I know. I've already got it. It's just built into my screen. That's all.
So are we supposed to write those on our phone?
Well, take a look over here. A, B, C.
Okay.
It was in the directions. That's all.
Okay.
I just have spaces for them. Okay, the way we find average daily balance is we take that sum that we just got and we divide it by the number of days. Well, we know our sum. It's 18,827.26. How many days are there from May 9th to June 9th?
31.
31, because we went through the end of May 31st, right? If this had been through the end of June, it would be 30, right? So if we went from June 9th to July 9th, we'd divide by 30 because June only has 30 days. Okay, if we went from January 9th to February 9th to March 9th, we'd divide by 28 because there's 28 days in February. It matters, the value will be different. If I divide this, I'll have 607.33. So what this is saying is that on average, this person or couple, if it's a joint account, have owed on average $607.33 per day through the duration of that month.
These people go spending crazy on their
Okay.
credit card.
The next one says monthly finance charge.
That's why you don't use credit cards. My mom always told me.
Credit card.
All right. Values conversation aside, I equal PRT. That's our interest because it wants to do our monthly finance charge. Finance charge means interest. All right, it's another word for interest. P, that's the amount that we owe on average. That's our 607. Oh, let me do it underneath. 607.33. What is our monthly interest rate? Previous slide. Yep, 1.3%. 0.013 is our rate.
My brain's overflowing,
This is crazy.
but it's happening.
Time.
Or
It's a month.
Time is 1 month,
I love when you said 12.
not 12,
0.12?
not 0.12. You're getting closer.
Wait, if you want to know,
It'd be 1 divided by something.
oh.
112?
Yeah, so let me actually write it this way.
Oh, it's 1 month.
Let me double check on this. I don't have this written out. Just a second. Actually, let's just leave it like that, because the way my rate is in months, so it's 1 month. The time is in months. It's just the percentage. So it's the amount times the rate is the percent. So it's 607.33 times 1.013.
So there's no one.
There's not, I mean, it is a 1 because it's 1 month. This is all doing it in terms of months. So if you want to do this in terms of months, because the rate was given to us in terms of months, the time can be done in terms of months, that's fine.
Wait, why is it not? Never mind. I'm so sorry.
So if you want to multiply this by 12, we had 0.5156. If you want to use that as your rate, that's the APR, the annual percentage rate. And then your time would be 1/12 because it's 1/12 of a year, 1 out of 12 months. So
No, there's no view doodling.
let's do it. Let me write this in this way. Your interest is your average balance times the rate. How's that? Are you happier with that? I'm happier with that.
No, I'm not.
It's your balance part A times your rate. It gives us $7.90.
It does?
It does.
Oh.
If you take
That's the lowest number we've seen
607.33.
this whole time.
Sure, because it's only for a month. Yeah,
But like,
it's not
that's
for 2
still-
years, right?
No, but that's still.
Yeah.
still a number this whole time.
Okay, account balance then on June 9th. Okay, look at the bottom of our chart. The last thing we did ended us up at 638.97, true?
Yep.
Yeah.
But at the end of the month, what's the credit card company gonna do?
Gonna add.
They're gonna add on interest. Okay, so it's gonna be our ending. Hang on, let me write this way. I'm a little too low. Our last balance plus the interest. So the last balance was 638.97, and we will add on the $7.90. The grand total then, I'll write it over here, is 646.87. And then the company would send us out a new bill. And the new bill would say, you owe 646.87.
Oh my god.
And the month starts over, we make a payment, and if we don't pay it all off, it keeps going. And it just keeps going. Yes, it does.
Never had to move.